Disclaimer. The content of this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice for any medical condition they may have, and should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions. And now...
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ben and Amy on The Heavy Truth.
Great intro, producer Mike. Thank you for that. I'm Amy.
And I'm Ben. Welcome in.
Truth.
On The Heavy Truth.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome.
Happy to do another episode.
Mm-hmm. How have you been?
Good, you? Anything new?
No, not that I can think of. You?
No, just planning on going to our obesity conference.
Yes.
In San Diego.
In San Diego. Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun.
That will be fun. I do love that. I do love going to those conferences and learning all the new things, current things, what's on the horizon, seeing fellow colleagues, all the stuff in the little, what are that called?
The exhibit hall.
The exhibit hall.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all the crap with all the samples and what is that noise? I don't know.
You know what I look forward to?
What?
Seeing what they're offering for lunch.
Oh, for sure. Some of the lunches are really
I'm
good.
just going to be honest here. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, it's funny. You go to those obesity conferences and they're like, here you go. And it's all of that. Do you remember that when you and I together at that conference and that woman was upset about there was no toast?
Yes.
She's like, where's the carbs? Where's the carbs? And I was like, excuse me, the grits right there that are piled on your plate is carbs, ma'am.
Yes. I know. That was so
And I don't know how she
funny.
could have eaten that toast with the 2 teeth she had. But anyway.
That was so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always wondering what the food is they're going to offer.
Yeah, they always have a good array of desserts too.
They do. See? I mean, anything in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
And with that said, all right, everyone take a deep breath. We're going to say something that might just mess with your algorithm here.
What?
Losing weight does not automatically mean you're healthier.
I don't know if that's true. Is that true? What do you mean?
Well, before anyone throws their phone, you just got to stay with us here, Mike.
What's with the crickets, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
So you mean, well, I mean, yeah, I think the belief for many people is, oh, I have to lose weight and I'm going to be healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not always true.
Mm-hmm. Today isn't anti-weight loss.
No.
It's anti-BS expectations.
Oh, such
How about
proper
that?
ladies. It's BS.
How about that?
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly true. But my question to you is, people push that lose weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lower numbers on the scale equals better success. That's how we see, as a society, we always judge on BMI and health. Oh, healthy BMI. And that means you've lost weight and you can have the surgery because your BMI is lower because it's healthy. But that's not always the whole story or the whole picture for people, right?
Well, no, that's just one data point, just one.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell me the whole story about labs, about energy, about muscle, or how intimidated or scared you are to be around food, which is a real thing.
That is a real thing. Yeah, for sure. It's almost like people just focus on that number, right? And then when you don't lose or you stall, then it feels personal. And then we always feel like when we get on that scale, it's judging us, but we're actually judging what that scale always says. And I always tell my patients, don't rely on what that scale always says. Your day shouldn't revolve around, your week shouldn't revolve around what that number says. How do you feel, right?
Right, and the truth is weight is easy to measure.
Yeah.
Right, but health is much harder. So we have to look at the big picture.
I mean, as a society, we've always tried to make things easier. Like, for example, we have drive-throughs, right? Because it's easier for you to get the food. Order in the clown's mouth, drive on through, pay at the first window, pick it up at the second window, right? And so we've talked about meds and because, how people get them, how we get that. And many people are tired of hearing about it, right?
Yeah. And, the medications, specifically the GLP-1s, they help many people lose weight, and that's real.
Yeah, but, just because realistically, just because you've lost weight doesn't mean, doesn't equal, right, nourishment or your strength or long-term health for that matter, right? Because I'm 220 pounds now compared to what I used to be. Mm-hmm. Does that mean I'm healthier?
No, it
Right.
doesn't. But, again, people are just so tied to the scale,
Mm-hmm.
so, we are seeing people get smaller. We're seeing people get, thinner. But we're also seeing them be, more fatigued and weaker and afraid not to eat.
Yep. But everyone always wants to hear, oh my God, look how you've lost so much weight. Look how good you look. You look amazing. Right?
Right. Which is not great when you don't feel great.
Yeah. But literally, everyone can tell you till you're blue in the face how wonderful you look if you don't feel good, right?
Absolutely. Right. So then, what is the plan to do that? Am I going to feel like this forever? Is this temporary? What if, I go to get assistance and insurance is like, no, you're fine, because ultimately they're the ones who are, guiding and the medication pre-approval process or, if we're going to continue it or whatnot.
But again, they're looking at that scale number. They're looking at the BMI. They're looking at a number on paper. They're not looking at how is the patient, how are you feeling? How do you feel? Do you feel good? There's always that, and I always go back to this, right? On these medications, the GLP-1s for insurance to continue, 5% weight loss, 5% weight loss, 5% weight loss. Realistically, that's a good weight loss, right? The 5%. But are they healthier? That's what they should be asking. Mm-hmm. Do they feel better? Are their comorbidities less? Are they feeling more in control of their eating habits, of their life, of their labs? How do these things look to make it more well-rounded, not just a number, right? Mm-hmm. Because remember, I'm sure you've heard this. You've had patients that come in and they have no comorbidities, no nothing, and they're like, I'm healthy fat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what, maybe their primary care has said to them, besides the fact that you've got some extra weight, you're real healthy. So, you're good, and I've had multiple people come to see me, not because primary or, had sent them to see me. It's because they're upset with it.
Right.
They want to get better.
Right.
But, they'll say, well, why has my doctor never told me, that, I have, obesity or whatnot, so this is the first time I'm hearing about it, or so people are just like floored.
Yeah.
That this not being mentioned.
Right. Right.
So.
But even with weight loss, there could be an issue where you feel like you've lost weight, but then you keep pressuring yourself to lose more, right? Mm-hmm. And even, and your body is saying, don't, stop, you're good where you are. But it's that own fear of gaining, I think, I think, where people continue to push themselves to lose more, which seems like they feel more unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a couple people that come to mind that, for the most part, I see them as unhealthy. I feel as though they're nutritionally deficient. And I'm seeing that both based off of labs or multiple things, just the way they feel, and then based off of their embodied composition, and still on medications where I am the prescribing provider. So I've got this, I'm torn because I have someone who's pleading with me that, I don't want to stop these medications. I feel great, or, which I know they can't because they don't look great. Right. I think they're just, like you just said, I think they're just caught up in that, I'm thin, so I can't stop any of these meds because I look good now.
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
and that's, for me, it's, comes down to, I have to make sure that, again, am I just agreeing to them because so they're happy, or do I have to go another way and say, all right, well, this is why we're not continuing these medications.
Right.
Have
And
you ever pulled anybody?
I have.
Yeah.
And I usually will, so for example, when I felt like that's happening and I can talk to them about labs and how they're feeling and, things like that, I won't pull the med entirely. I will back the dose. It's a lot of this where they're not eating enough. Right. And so they're avoiding food. They're not eating enough. They're not getting enough protein. I will back the medication dose down with the understanding and discussion of, yes, the hunger will come back a bit, right? But our goal is for us to make sure we're getting in X amount of calories, X amount of protein, so we can, continue a healthy weight loss journey and not lose muscle and feel fatigued. And it's a very hard thing to do because you never want them to feel like it's a failure on their part. And it's first and foremost, it's your promise when we became providers, or our duty to to do no harm,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
No,
sometimes it can be disappointing because we're not punishing you because, you're not eating enough or you're caught up in this vicious cycle. We are trying to help you.
but they don't always see it as that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Because you are in definitely a very fragile state, but, yeah. And then it becomes difficult when, you can't decrease certain doses because you can only be on,
Maintenance doses or certain things. Yeah.
so that makes it difficult
Mhm.
too. Like why do we have to stick to certain doses? Like maybe it's just too much for somebody.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like,
Or get up to a certain dose, right? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you can't get another
Right.
prior authorization without getting to this level or XYZ. Yeah. But ultimately, I think we never want the patient to feel like you're a disappointment or you're not disciplined enough or you're not doing XYZ, right? We have to let them know that they're not failing the plan. The plan may be failing them, right?
no, yes, for sure. Right. I mean, something is off when they're, the eating we've changed to a disordered type eating.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost a lot of muscle mass, we're underweight, we have to address that.
Oh, of course. But what does healthy actually look like? That's the question, right? Because for a long time, everyone always looks at BMI and says, oh, obesity is 30 and above, overweight is this, and below this is a healthy weight. So what does healthy actually look like? Like you said, the scale doesn't tell the whole story.
Well, no, because some of the questions that we ask are, how do you feel when you wake up? How do you feel all day long? How are your energy levels throughout the day? How's your strength? What do the labs look like? So there's multiple questions that we ask, not just like, oh, look, oh, great, you lost another 10 pounds. Okay, good. See you in, 2 months.
Right.
So if that's happening, well, you're not at the right place, number one. Number two, you need to look at yourself. You have to self-reflect a little bit too,
Yeah,
because again, everyone is so set on the number on the scale,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you that for a long time, I was set on that number on the scale. The number on that scale told me how my day would go or how my weekend would go or whatever. If it was up, I failed, right? And then it was one of these, excuse me, when I would say, fuck it. And then I'll start again on Monday. It doesn't, I had to change that, with the help of my weight loss provider and things like that. I had to change that. And it's not an easy plan and it's not an easy thing to do, right? You have to be able to eat without feeling the fear or like a mental gymnastics, like, oh, I can't have that. I shouldn't have that. I'm going to gain weight if I have that, right? It needs not to be eating should not be a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, progress, progress, not perfection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Progress can be, fewer bites. It can be less food noise, a different exercise routine,
Right.
So how do you feel? Listen to your body.
Yeah, because sometimes that number on that scale doesn't move. And I know you and I have talked about in past podcasts, non-scale victories.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it
Love
was,
'em.
yeah, love them. For me, it was going on an airplane without a seatbelt extender, right? Riding a roller coaster, which, by the way, producer Mike, Amy, and myself went to Gay Days at Great America, like we do every year, and rode some roller coasters. And
what happened on one of the roller coasters that you were on?
oh, well, first of all, producer Mike and Amy would not ride this one.
No, I would not.
Right. So, but producer Mike and I, of course, would ride it, and we were good. We were good until we were next in line, and then the car ahead of us got stuck on the ascent of the first big hill, and we stood there, and Amy thought we were stuck on the ride, but we were actually next in line for the ride.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm watching this thing go up and get stuck, and nobody's texting me. Nobody's doing anything. And I'm like, I think they could be on that.
Yeah. Well, Key and I were discussing, how long do we wait? Should we wait? Do we not? What do we do? And then they make an announcement okay, it should be. And so we decided we would wait okay, we're going to wait 10 more minutes. And then suddenly it just went, and they realized it was some other car coming into the station or something. There was didn't come. I don't know, whatever, but it was fine. So then it comes and they all get off and it opens up and it's our turn to get on. And so he and I get on and I'm like,
I probably would have crapped myself.
Yeah.
I would have laughed. I don't know.
well, my whole thing was they would have had to come get me because I'm not walking down the hill on those stairs, roll that shit back down to the terminal. I don't know what you got to do, but I ain't getting off this ride if it gets stuck somewhere.
I mean, there was people walking up it, on the one that was stuck up there. I
Yeah,
saw them walking.
yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah. But we went through. But Amy, what do I always tell you? It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
We're
fine. We're all fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. And what do you say? Open your eyes.
Open your eyes.
No,
Yeah. No.
Mm-mm.
I'm glad I had no part of that.
Yeah.
But again, back to that was non-scale victory for you was not wearing or going on roller coasters.
Yeah.
Right. So I kind of sidetracked because I thought that was funny.
That is funny.
But, honestly, if you're not losing weight or you have, you've lost some muscle strength, it's not a failure. It's just you need to reprioritize your things, your priorities. So that comes down to making sure that you are, again, eating healthy and getting in exercise and getting your
Water
hydration.
and sleep. Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
It's a whole, as society, we make plans for everything, right? You have, your calendar, you write things down. This is what we're going to plan when you pay your bills. This is what we're going to plan when we're going on vacation. Why not plan how your weight loss is going to look and not be, and take it with a grain of salt when it doesn't, it's never going to be perfect. That's what we had to get out of our mind is that's never going to be perfect because weight loss is never as fast as we want it to be. So we always judge how well we're doing based on how well or how quickly we're losing weight, right?
Right, and that's not a failure, right? I mean, that's
it's
just
biology.
yeah.
Your body makeup. You and I could be doing the same thing. You used to see those TV commercials where the husband and wife would both stop drinking soda and he would lose 10 pounds and she would lose 3 and she'd be pissed. Right?
That's just
now,
men and
it didn't
women
mean
in
that
general,
he did anything better than her, right?
Right. It just, men have, different, genetics and muscle mass and, can lose fat or you can lose weight quicker, but that doesn't make it any easier for females though.
No.
You're doing it side by side with your husband or your spouse or significant other, whoever it is. And all of a sudden, wow, 20 pounds gone off the man and, 5 off the female working their ass off. Welcome to my world. Honestly.
Oh, is that true, producer Mike? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But producer Mike had more weight to lose than you.
Yeah, but even when there has been stints of, let's say 20 pounds, right? All right, I'd like to lose 20 pounds. Like, he could be down 20 pounds way before me.
Just taking a big poop.
Yeah, that's true. That too. That's another thing. People are constipated.
Right.
And, it all plays a part.
Yeah. Slow wins, right? Fewer, it becomes, as you lose weight, right? And I noticed in my own weight loss journey, at the beginning, it was all like, wow. And then as you get down to where I'm getting closer to my own goal weight, the wows were less because I wasn't having those 5-pound weight losses or whatever. Now it was a half pound or a pound or nothing.
Yep.
That week, right? But the goal was always over the course of the month how that looked out, right? So there were fewer, as Oprah called them, aha moments or wow, right?
Yeah, yes. And speaking of Oprah, I know we did an episode on her before, but
she looks amazing. And
wasn't there something recently how was off meds as a trial?
I saw her. She did she was on one of those, I don't know, Good Morning America, the Today Show, whatever. I'm sure if I asked Granny, she would know because she likes to tell me, did you see this morning on whatever, Good Morning America or the Today Show? No, I'm at work. I did not watch Hoda and Jenna or whoever the hell that was talking about it. But anyway, something about like
I thought she went off the meds.
She went off her GLP-1s for a year to see, she kept doing her same her lifestyle modifications were all the same. Her lifestyle, everything she had changed. And she said she gained I'm just going to make up number. I know she said maybe like 15 or 20 pounds or whatever. So she had gained a little bit of weight back and the food noise came back a bit and all that stuff. So she did it more so because she wanted to, not only prove to herself because everyone likes to see what Oprah does, but also to let the people know obesity is a chronic disease.
This is long
term. And kudos to her for doing that because I would have been like off the medication, been like, oh, I'm up 2 pounds. Oh, give me the medication back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's why I got sidetracked. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, I remember somebody not too long ago saying that, and I never heard anything about it, but I was wondering how much weight she had gone, or she had lost, but then she wanted to go back on because she understood the importance of it.
Yeah, she understood the importance of it and that it helped with, whatever insulin resistance or, whatever was some of the cause of her obesity.
Yeah.
Right. And knowing that it was a chronic disease that waxes and wanes, right? It's never a perfect start to finish.
Well, and it's not a perfect process. People are gonna, they're gonna do well with some things. They're gonna have some, not great moments. They're gonna have rebounds and whatnot. So you have to I say you have to ride the wave. There's gonna be good and bad days.
Yeah.
Because plateaus are real. It's a part of the process in general with obesity and weight loss and getting healthier.
Yeah,
good and bad days.
Absolutely. And you can't let that, whatever those days look like, you can't let that reflect, your self-worth, right? It's easy to say, I say this and I know it's easy to say because all of us that suffer obesity have that guilt, right? When we overeaten something or whatever. But we can't let that always destroy our self-worth or our process. It's a bump in the road, like we've always said.
Yeah. And don't feel bad. If you tried and failed in your mind numerous times, just do it again.
Yeah.
I'll have people that'll come see me for a while, do great, and then they don't show up again for a long time. And then I'm like, oh, well, hi, welcome back, and then I see.
Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in. And then I see, I just almost didn't come today because I feel, ashamed. I've gained 25 pounds and now I'm back. But I'm like, but you're back.
Yeah.
So that's okay. We take people, I say, we welcome people back all the time. That's fine. You're here.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. It's that's exactly it. You showed up for yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't show up for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe they showed up for me, but
It's hard though. It's hard to go back to, after you've failed. I mean, I remember like when I did Weight Watchers and, you do well. Now, I did okay on Weight Watchers, but then like most people, you get to a certain point and you don't lose anymore. Because again, free, right? But you get
there are no free
right.
points.
So then you just
free foods.
Then you're like, oh, now I'm just done, and then you give up and then you gain the weight back. And then it's like,
then you look for a different Weight Watchers day that you go, so you don't see those same
different
people
meeting.
or that same woman. But then you happen to go that day and she's she's substituting for like, damn it, Peggy, what are you doing here?
Absolutely. They've been there.
Yeah.
So it takes and for the Weight Watchers staff, support staff, the coaches, whatever, they're like, oh, hey, welcome in. But me, embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I was, up 25 pounds, if I would have stayed.
Right.
But they don't care. The same thing that I don't care when people come back. I welcome it.
Yeah.
I want them back. So I think, this episode is, I don't know, if it made you feel seen, then that's good. And if you feel heard, that's good.
Yeah, but also if you felt uncomfortable, that's good too.
It is.
Because sometimes feeling uncomfortable is that first step in making all of us make that change, right?
Growth. Feeling uncomfortable with something is growth. It can
For
be.
sure. Yeah, 100%.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I do as well. So again, that scale doesn't dictate your life and shouldn't, right? Because your health is bigger than what a number is.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you deserve to be healthy, right? That's a big thing. People always say, and I've had them say this, well, I felt like I didn't deserve to lose weight. I didn't deserve to do that. Everybody deserves healthy weight. Everybody deserves to be healthy. Right.
And to feel good about themselves.
And
sometimes, even though, again, you could be of normal weight, your body composition's good, but mentally you're still, struggling. And that's a real thing too. That's stuff for another episode.
Oh, yeah. I feel good about you, Amy.
Yeah, I do too today. Yeah, you're good today.
Yeah.
You've behaved.
Yeah, no, I feel good about you.
I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
And you made a yummy cheeseburger soup.
Thank you.
Yes.
It was good. I agree.
It was good.
Thank you for that
Even though it
compliment.
was like scalding hot and I burned my face off. But then again, that's just probably my own self trying to shovel that in. But it's okay. Because it was, that's what I learned today.
That's right.
I learned don't eat soup at Amy's house because it's scalding hot. But on that note, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts, that's where we'll be.
Like us and share us.
Or don't like us and share us, because that's fine too. You can hate us and be like, ugh, listen to these two bitches. That's fine. Or, oh my God, listen to these two bitches. Depending on who your friends are, that's what I'd say. And that's great.
Okay too.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
We're all deserving of that.
We are.
So on that note, I'm Ben.
And I'm Amy.
And we're the Heavy Truth.